Now then, witches and beautiful souls, it's another bonus because you know I love them. And I love you for listening. And it's my birthday, Friday, 20th of September. I have gone 39 trips around the sun, still alive and kicking, so that's good. As you are hearing this, I will be journeying down south to near Birmingham for a fantastic festival called the Festival of the Unexplained. I absolutely cannot wait. It's going to be full of so many cool, interesting, unique people talking about aliens and spiritualism, ghosts, cryptids. I cannot wait. It's such an awesome birthday gift from me to me. Definitely gonna harvest a bit of that podcast content for you while I'm there, listeners. So I'll be taking a dictaphone and a notebook. Because why not? And I thought, why not as well? Slap another little bonus episode down for you, dear listener, to celebrate with me. I am going to share a new sponsor in the form of Goth, an alternative market down in Camden Town. If I was a southern lass, I would be down there having a shop, all dressed up and getting my spook on. Get your fangs out for the kids. So do enjoy the ad that I've created with love and magic. Then after that, I will put on What the TikTok, the first episode that I did, a taster of a subscriber-only mini-episode podcast that I create. Mini-sodes that I do over on my Patreon, which is patreon.com, the Bell Witch Podcast. Me looking at TikTok, having my mind blown, and telling you all about it. So it's like taking the information and putting it into podcast form. There is some cracking, mind-bending stuff on TikTok, and the algorithm monster feeds me all the conspiracies that I just love. And so, yeah, I thought I'd share and see what you think. So I hope you have a very pleasant and magical witchy weekend, surfing those full moon vibes, and I shall be seeing you in a couple of weeks. Okay, bye, witches. Have you heard about the Whimsy Goth market in London? A brand spanking new market for the weird and magical. Set up by Michelle, who herself runs a small creative business named Demons and Diamonds. With her love for all things goth, fantasy, witchy and celestial, Whimsy Goth was born. Their third and last event of 2024 is very close on the 28th of September, held at Cecile Sharp House in Camden in London. Camden means a lot to people in the alternative community, and although it isn't what it was in the heyday, it still holds a lot of magic for a lot of people. Michelle is working hard to make her market feel like old Camden, and the last two successful events feedback definitely indicates that she achieved this. A space created where individuality is celebrated and small businesses are supported. A place where all subcultures can come together, feel safe, welcome and included. And the next market coming up is a very special Spooky September event on the 28th of September from 11:30 till 4:30 at Cecile Sharp House in Camden. It's £2 entry with over 50 vendors to browse. An on-site calf plus tarot readers, a tooth gem technician, a spirit photo booth and sideshow stunts performed by Bloody Bones throughout the day. It's Michelle's biggest market yet. And keep your eyeballs on this spooky lot because 3 more dates are going to get announced on actual Halloween. Want to know more? Find them on Facebook and Instagram at the Whimsy Goth Market for more information on this fantastic spooktacular event. And make sure you have a scarily good time. Greetings, Patreon members, and welcome to my very first attempt at doing a Patreon-only podcast episode. And I'm going to call it, What the TikTok? Basically just stuff that I find while scrolling through my TikToks that like really get to me, you know, that alter my reality, that change my mind on stuff, that just shock horror me and boggle my brain. And there's so much good stuff and there's a lot of crap as well. But I thought I'd make a tiny little bonus episode just about the things that absolutely astonish me, and there's so much. But I'll always try and end on a positive, because some of it's probably going to get quite dark, because that is the nature of conspiracy theories. I am very good at detaching myself from them, and I'm aware not everybody can do that because some of them are huge. So my mission is to always end on a good note, a good perspective, a debunking, just to make sure you're all right there in podcast land. So yeah, let's dive in, see what you think. What the TikTok? Have you heard about the egg theory? This is balmy. So the idea is you're a human, you've got a soul, you're going to live your life, and then something might happen and the soul will die and go to wherever souls go to. But imagine if you went where you were meant to go and you met somebody kind of like a god or the universe, and they explained to you that you need to go back and do it all again because you didn't achieve the things you wanted to achieve, you know, like reincarnations. Basically, you failed. You didn't learn your lesson, so you got to go back to the start and do it all again. Which we're all well and good with. I mean, we all get that, don't we? Especially as witches and pagans and stuff. And then the universe goes on to say that you're already on Earth right now, and you've been on Earth for centuries, and you'll be going in for centuries as well, because everybody you meet on the Earth is a version of you, and everybody you're going to meet and everybody you know of on the news is a version of you at different times in your soul's journey. So the person who was receiving this said, well, what about like really bad people? Do you know, people who are hurting each other? Like Hitler? Are you trying to tell me that Hitler is a version of me? All those serial killers that you listen to podcasts about, all those dark, sick souls that torture and kill others, they're a version of me as well. And the universal higher being goes, yep. People who purposely go out just to cause havoc and park in the wrong positions and are just plain selfish, are they me as well? The universe says, yes, that's correct. A long time ago it was a version of you and you didn't learn what you were meant to learn, so you came back as lots of people at the same time. So I think it's called the egg theory, because we're all, you know, like the earth is an egg and we're all in this egg living as lives trying to get out of the egg. And when you get out of the egg, you go to the next plane, which is probably like a goddess plane or something. But when you really think about it, it proper boggles your head. It's just like, wait a minute, so is my husband a version of me? Am I married to me sen? Well, what about animals? Are they versions of me too? And you know, apparently, yes, they are. Well, what about plants? Are they versions of me also? Yep. Everything you meet, everything you come across that's alive is a version of you. All your friends, all the people you fall out with, your teachers, the people from history, Einstein, they're all versions of you. And you'll just keep repeating and growing and being different people and different stuff, going up and down the ladder until you achieve ultimate enlightenment and you realise what your soul's purpose is. Only then do you manage to break out of the egg and go on to the next playing field, soul level accomplishment and all that jazz. You know what it reminds me of? This is a bit of a tedious link, but there's a Bluey episode where Bingo wants to sleep in her own bed. I bet a lot of you know where I'm going. And she breaks out of an egg, which is the world, you know, like Earth, and kind of goes around space with a teddy, Floppy, trying to find a mum who's the sun. But it just, you know, breaking out of the egg, which is Earth. Maybe they're close to somewhat like The Simpsons. Getting good at the predicting conspiracy theories. Who knows? I mean, I found this out about 4 months ago and I'm still thinking about it, and every so often it pops into my head. But that also means I'm making podcasts for me sen, and all my listeners are just me. It's just so egocentric. Everything I'm doing, if this was to be applied to my life, is just to please myself. So there you go. Sorry, your brain's probably hurting. It's funny though. But you know why this is a load of shite, right? Swales' take, here it comes. The people who do bad stuff, who are really evil, I can't stand those people. They are scum. I have zero respect. I have zero wanting to know how they tick. If I feel like this, it means the egg theory is shit because I don't need to learn that these people who remember are apparently versions of me doing bad stuff in the world, aggressive, scandalous things. I already know this is a fact. So me being so massively aware and disgusted and repelled by these people doing these inhumane things, inexcusable things, to me that theory is blown out of the water because I know what's right and what's wrong, so. And I like being nice. I'm a nice person. I want to be friendly. I want to meet people in my life and help them and support people and just be a genuine, normal-ish person. Bullshit, mate. It's bullshit. Amazing.
What the TikTok?
Have you heard about the Cosrev mirror? Or is it Cosirev mirror? This is absolutely amazing. So this is a mirror designed by this scientific dude, I can't even say his name, I'm not going to try, in the mid-20th century in Russia, in like proper laboratory settings, it was an absolute legit scientific experiment. And what it is it's kind of like a mirror, a big mirror in the shape of a spiral, and it's kind of like a wardrobe size. And the idea is you sit in this spiral mirror and loads of crazy stuff happens to you. So people went in with helmets on, kind of like machines that read brain waves and temperatures and heart rates and stuff. And there were a selection of different people, all different types, different walks of life. And they were reporting really similar things, even though they were from complete different backgrounds, and recorded what they saw. And so many things came out. So people were saying that they could time travel and like reality went bendy and their whole life would flash before their eyes like a storybook, like a movie. Some people said this going into the mirror enabled them to do stuff with their memories and their imagination, fast forwarding them backwards and forwards throughout memories. Some people saw memories as if they were reliving them, and others saw memories as if they were watching a film. People could see people watching them in this spiral, and they used to call them the observers, like a bit kind of like aliens watching them. But it wasn't a good thing. It was quite uncomfortable and foreboding and a bit frightening. The observers, as they were getting known to be called, weren't friendly, and you could communicate with them. So apparently these observers were suggesting them not to do stuff and not to tell people about this spiral mirror that is enabling them to have a two-way conversation. It seemed quite negative, and it made people feel ill from communicating with these observers. I mean, that's kind of scary, really. It gets to me, does that one? Absolutely. And the icing on the cake is lots of people reported seeing these observers, and they were all different people who didn't know each other, and they all saw the same people. Oh my God, I don't like it. And nobody quite knows why it works. There's suspicion because it's the classic spiral shape that's like all over nature. I think they call it the golden rule spiral. I remember learning about it at art college, about how it's a really strange shape that just keeps coming out in nature. It's like, it doubles itself every time, so it starts off really small and gets absolutely massive. And it's got quite a lot of spiritual power as this spiral in quantum physics. So it's got to be a certain dimension, and then when you sit in it you feel a bit wobbly and woozy. But this was huge. I mean, mediums were saying they were going in it and they could see people on a different plane. And it were just made out of aluminium, but it's all about the measurements were the most important aspects of this mirror. So when I delved into it, there was somebody in America trying to make one in the garage and getting people to sit in the middle of it, and people were feeling a little bit ill from sitting in this mirror, this spiral mirror. I think because there's an argument that time isn't linear and it's kind of like a spiral. I think we've spoke about it before, where, there's lots of different dimensions of time. And, maybe this mirror, because it's a spiral, bend light funny because it's aluminium. The argument goes that it'll bend through different times and stuff. It just proper boggles my mind. And it's not very big, like to say it's quite a big deal. I mean, essentially it could be a time travel machine, but there's not much hoo-ha about it. It's just balmy, really. You get these time travellers on TikTok that are from the year 2155 and stuff. Maybe they're sat in the spiral mirror. Did affect people when people sat in it. The body temperatures and the heart rates and stuff were getting measured, and all those things were being affected, without them doing anything. They were just sat there on a simple chair and stuff physically was happening to them. So is this a mirror that can bend space and time? And you know what else scares me as well? You can actually get the blueprint plans to make your very own mirror in your back garden. I mean, you need a lot of space because if the spiral gets really big and you need to be able to sit in it. But you can legit buy the plans to make your very own Cozy Rev mirror. Blimey.
Eh? What the TikTok?
So if you're going to do that, you're going to make this mirror, let me know how it goes. And I'll see you in about 50 years in your mirror. Anyway, that's it from me, Swales, the friendly green witch and general ponderer. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please give me feedback if you're interested in this or if it's just too silly, because I'm trying to think of things to offer you extra as a Patreon member, and I'm often pondering to myself about the crazy conspiracies I come across when I'm doing my scrolling. Yeah, honest feedback would be awesome if it's something that you enjoyed or if it's just a load of bollocks. Stay magical, and I will see you the next episode of What the TikTok?